Hi, this is Mike Kennedy, and we have another Kubey knife, tactical knife, to check out. You'll see my previous video of one of their knives. This is a different version of that knife, and so we're going to take a look at it. Now, this is a tactical knife. Now, what does a tactical knife mean? A tactical knife means that besides being able to cut vegetables with it, it can be used for defense. And one of the things that's important to be able to use it for defense, so you could have this clipped to your pocket. Main is a open carried state as far as knives. That is, if it's not concealed, you can carry it on your knife, on your belt. And this has a really nice, just by doing this, I can tell that this belt clip is really on there tight, so it's going to hold the knife on there good. But a tactical knife has the ability to do just that, to be able to be opened in one hand. So that way, if you have it on your belt, you have it behind you have it in your pocket, when you bring it out, you can present it as open. Now this has we're gonna go out and test some of the items on this. In other words, we're gonna see that this is a very strong locking mechanism. Since this is a knife that you might push with or do this with, it's very important that the knife doesn't close back on you. So it's very important that the locking mechanism on this is really, really rugged. Now, they've changed the handle to be kind of a prettyish green. There's an iridescent green color to it over the previous model. And also something I really like here too is they've made the lanyard hole bigger. I could fit a nice size metal clip in there if I wanted to, rather than just string a piece of paracord through there. I like sometimes to have a ring and a piece of paracord so that I can put it in and it can go around my wrist. That way, if you're out carving or doing something, you just have less of a risk of dropping the knife. And also, especially with a knife that, if you have a knife that's, oops, I should do this one-handed for you. If you have a knife that's has a dark handle, it's kind of nice to put something brightly colored on here. So I'm actually going to have a piece of reflective paracord on here that I'm going to use, and I'll show that to you too as well. But another thing this has that the previous model didn't have, this has what we call a thumb grip. See, it's got a little space in it here just specifically for you to hold your thumb. So this allows you to do some finer carving where you're applying pressure, but you have more control over the knife with that spot there. If you didn't have that, and say the knife was this thin, you just don't have as much traction. So that gives you a lot of traction. Another thing I really like about this is this right here. This, and the way the handle's designed, that gives you kind of a handguard. You got to remember too, if you're going to be using the knife in this motion, it's very important that your hands don't slide down. Now this is going to help protect your hands quite a bit. Okay, let's go beat some wood with it, which is what I do, beat up wood. Okay, we're testing now how strong this lock is. Now there's no official way to test a lock, but here's what I'm going to do, because I know it's pretty secure, so I'm going to do this. you can see that I can't get that lock to unlock. So that's good. That's one of the first things we want to see in any locking knife. I don't care if it's a bushcraft knife, I don't care if it's a tactical knife. We want locking knives to lock because they're just so much safer. I mean, if you have a regular jackknife, it doesn't lock. You know, a typical knife, and you have to be careful. You got to be careful that you're always carving a certain way. You wouldn't want to be. With this, we could dig at something. We could do some different things, but that would be really, really not advisable to do with a knife that does not lock and does not lock securely. I'll tell you, I purchased one knife and the lock didn't even work on it. This lock works. Okay, so first thing we're going to test is the locking mechanism. Okay, you can see that it stayed locked. This kind of protected my thing, but I'm also going to purposely try to fold it back on itself. And you can see I'm not having luck at doing that. So this is locking securely. I tell you, I bought inexpensive knives where the locks didn't even function. And to me, knives should lock. It's fine if you're doing whittling with a jackknife or a small knife to do some carving work, but if you're going to be doing something big, it's best to have a knife that locks and locks securely. Now let me just show you here that this knife is sharp. Okay, but I want to show you the advantage of this little thumb thing. This allows me to get in and direct the knife a little better. And you can see what I've done here. I've gouged out a piece. Well, in bushcraft we don't call it gouging out, we call it notching. So there are multiple reasons why you'd want to do that. From just having a tent stake to constructing a trap, making a fishing pole, all kinds of reasons, but having that thumb rest makes the ability to make notches in wood much easier. Something else about this knife I want to mention, this is constructed of stainless steel. Okay, so you got two advantages of stainless steel. Stainless steel doesn't rust normally under normal usage. You know, you can corrode it in salt water if you're going to leave it in salt water, but who's going to leave a knife in salt water all the time? And it will hold an edge longer and better than high carbon steel. Okay, so there's advantages to having stainless steel. And to be honest, there's some advantages to high carbon steel. High carbon steel is easier to sharpen in the field. But on the same hand, this in the field is going to hold its edge much longer. Now, with any knife, I always like to get out my ferro rod and just see if it will throw sparks. Now, I know it will, but what can I say? I'm a little bit of a fire maniac. So I just want to show you that once I have to scrape off the coating, the oxidation off my ferro rod. But just to show you, you can see that this is throwing plenty of sparks too. So this knife is perfect for that. See that discoloration is just coming right off. Okay, so here we have the Kubey knife, new model. Very pretty material on the scale. Very sturdy pocket clip that's really tight, so it's really going to hold your knife on good. We have, as we've shown, the one-handed opening and closing. This model has a bigger hole for either a lanyard or a clip. And It's just a really nice knife all around. I'm really going to enjoy using this in the field.